Hi! Thanks so much for watching my video. It's fall, it's October, it's spooky season. I thought what better way to celebrate than by showing you how to make a crochet pumpkin, just like these. It's a super simple pattern. You can do it super quickly, and all you need to know how to do is a single crochet. I've got a number 4 worsted weight yarn and a 4mm hook, but you can use any size yarn and hook, however big or small you want your pumpkin to be. I'm going to start by chaining 9 stitches. So we're doing our first row of stitches into the back loop of these chains, and at the end we'll have 8 stitches. To get the shape of the pumpkin right, I've found what's best is between 2 and 3 times the number of stitches is how many rows you should have. So we have 8 stitches in each row. So 16 to 24 rows should get us the nice round pumpkin shape. The more rows you have, the flatter your pumpkin will be. Like over here, I have this one, which is nice and flat, and this was 3 times the number of stitches. And I've got this one that is very tall, and this was twice the number of stitches. I'm going to go somewhere in the middle. So for 8 stitches, 2.5 times, we'll say, would be 20 rows. So that's what we're going to do. You can mix up these numbers however you want. The formula stays the same. If you started with 12 stitches, you could do 24 to 36 rows, and so on. Now, the trick to getting this ribbed texture on the pumpkin is to do a back loop only single crochet. So in a normal single crochet, you know how you go into that little gap there under both of these loops. The trick to back loop single crochet is that you look at the top at your stitch, you see the 2 loops there, and you put your hook through the back one only, and then yarn over and do your single crochet like normal. So again, you look at the top stitch, you'd see the back loop only, the one furthest away from you. You put your hook through the back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Super simple, right? So we're going to do 20 rows of this. So I'm on the 3rd row now, and something to note, you can see how different it looks just going into the back loop only. We've got this row, this line of the front loops, and we've got this dent in the back. So we'll go into the back loop of the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Looking at the top here, seeing these 2 loops, putting our hook into the back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And we'll just keep going like that over and over until we have the number of rows we need. So we're just about halfway through now, and something that I wanted to point out is that when you're working through these rows and you get to the last stitch, sometimes the back loop on the last stitch can be a little tough to see because the previous row will curl over it. So here's my last stitch from that last row, and looking at the top, it's really hard to see where that back loop is. So if you just grab the side here and curl it over the opposite way, you can see it much better. You can see both of those loops here, and you'll just want to stick your hook in right in this middle part here, right under that back loop. It can be kind of tough to see. Using a stitch marker if you need to will help a lot. Just putting a stitch marker in the back, the last chain of every row, the first and last chain of every row, that'll really help you be able to see it. Another thing that you can notice now that we're about halfway through is just how much a difference going in the back loop only makes. You can see the ridges really starting to come together now, and you can tell how many rows we have by all the ridges. So we've got 5 ridges, so we've got 10 rows. Each ridge is 2 rows. So we'll just keep going all the way to 20 rows. All right, so we've got our 20 rows now. You can see our 10 individual ridges, and we're just going to bind it off like normal. Now when you bind it off, you want to leave a lot of room so that we can sew the pumpkin shut. So I'm going to leave a super long tail like this, and then you'll just take the 2 ends fold it up in half, and then you'll need an embroidery needle. Plastic or metal, either's fine, whatever you like to use. And we'll stick the yarn through our needle, and we'll just sew it closed. The way I like to do that is I just come in from the outside here through the whole stitch, meet it on the other side, and then pull through. And then I just go back over to the next 2 stitches and just line up all the stitches on either side. Now, when you've gotten to the end and you've got it all sewn together, we're going to thread this long tail that we have on our needle through a couple of stitches around. So I'm going to take 2 from around each set. So I'll probably pick about 20 stitches. So you'll just pick up, you don't have to pick up every stitch, just a couple here and there. So I've got a couple on my needle. I'm just going to pull the yarn through so that I can get around the curve with the pumpkin. Pick up some more. And just go through like that. Get the last of these and pull it through. And then you just hold it, focus, and pull it tight to cinch all of that together. You may have a little bit of a hole left at the top. That's okay. The stuffing shouldn't fall out. Especially if you're doing a really big pumpkin with a really thin yarn. Big pumpkins like these, you might be left with a little bit of a hole. I just did a little crisscross over it. Like this one also might be left with a little hole at the bottom, but that's okay. And then we'll just take the 2 ends and we'll tie them together. You can do a double knot or a triple knot, however much you think you need to keep it secure. And then I'll just hold them together, put them through my needle again, poke them through the hole at the top, and pull them inside the pumpkin. And I'll just tuck them in there. Now you can stuff it with whatever you have on hand. If you have some fiberfill or some yarn scraps or fabric scraps, anything squishy. I've just got a handful of fiberfill. Kind of tuck it all in there. And then you'll take another pretty long piece of that same color, thread it onto your needle, and you can just go in from wherever you happen to start. And we're going to do the same thing here. We'll pick up a few and then pull through until we've got a couple inches hanging out of the other side. And just do that all the way around. Now that we've made it to the other side, we'll pull it tight and close up that hole. You can just pull them tight to get everything adjusted and then tie them together like we did for the top. And these you can pull really tight to get that hole to close the rest of the way. We'll take the 2 together, stick them through the eye of the needle, and poke them through the hole and out the side. We'll just pull them all the way out, and then we'll trim off the excess. Squish it to get the end to tuck in there. We have the main body of our pumpkin. Now you can just take some brown yarn or some green or whatever color you want, and we're going to chain 4 stitches. Sorry. And we'll do 3 single crochets. Just 3, you don't need a lot. If you're doing a bigger pumpkin, you might want a bigger stem. You can do 4 half double crochets, 5 double crochets, whatever, a couple of rows even if you're doing a really big pumpkin. I mentioned half double crochets, and if you don't know how to do that, I'll be posting a tutorial soon, so keep an eye out for that. We'll take one end on the side of the stem, put it through the eye of the needle, and we'll just stick this kind of in one side right at the end and out the other, kind of like that. So we're just picking up a couple of, we're just going right under the edge of the stitches, and we'll just pull this end all the way through, and we'll flip this end over to meet it, and we'll tie them together. Get it nice and secure. We'll hold the 2 ends together, feed them through our needle, stick them into the pumpkin, come out the other side, and trim off the excess. We'll just squish it around to get that end tucked in there. And there you go. A super quick and easy crochet pumpkin. But yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching.